Hi, this is David Tierney with Designs by Tierney, and this is a follow-up to another tutorial that I did on adding shortcodes to your WordPress website. And this one is just kind of giving you some tips on how to add the shortcode into your website, because sometimes you can run into some problems getting it into the site in the right way. So here's a sample page. We've got a couple of sections here: a welcome, some words, our staff, some just fill in text. We're going to go ahead and break that into two half-page sections and talk about tips as we do it. So we're going to go ahead and go into the edit page screen for this page, and here's our window. So what we want to do is, if we want to add the first shortcode before this welcome word, which is a heading 2, we're going to put the cursor. Let's say we want to capture this section here and put it in the first half of the page, and we want to capture this section here and put it in the second half of the page. So what we're going to do is we're going to wrap this section in a shortcode called 1/2, and we're going to wrap this in a shortcode called 1/2 last. So we want to put a shortcode before and after this section. So we're going to put our cursor at the beginning, and we're going to hit the return key and move our cursor up. And so here we are up here. Now the problem is, if we just add our shortcode here at the beginning, as you can see, it's actually formatted as a heading 2. We don't want that. And what we can do is we can take a look at the HTML. And I'm not expecting you to understand HTML, but maybe this makes sense to you. The way that in the code it tells you that this welcome word is a header is it just simply has these brackets around H2 for header 2, and an ending bracket. Same thing, it's just got a slash before it. And so the same thing, what happened here was with the shortcode is it put it within these brackets. It's not really what we want. We want it to be all by itself. And what I'm trying to do is teach you how to do this without having to go into the HTML. So if you do this and you see this happening, then you want to change that. So what we're going to do is we're going to put our cursor in here, and we're going to change this to paragraph. And by doing so, it actually wipes out the styling that's associated with it. I'm just going to take a look, and it looks like that's how we want it. We just want that to be there before this section without any wrappers or anything around it, just that shortcode. So now we're going to go down here to the end of the section, and we're going to hit the return key, and you have to hit it twice, because the first time you hit the return key you end up still in your ordered list. Second time breaks the ordered list and starts a new area. And so now we're going to type in our second shortcode, /1/2. The second one, if you've got a wrapping shortcode where you've got a 1 before and 1 after, then you need a slash before. And then the best thing to do is, if you're going to have the second section start right after the first section, actually I guess you always will, then to go ahead and enter in your second piece of shortcode right after this. Rather than drop down a line, you can just put it right there. And then we're going to scroll down to the bottom of this section, and we're going to have it at the end of the paragraph. And because this is formatted as a paragraph, then I know that there's no other styling down here, and that's what I want to do. Is the big tip I'm trying to show you is how to get the shortcode in there with other code wrapped around it, because then that will cause the code not to work properly. So this should work. And again, if you feel comfortable and you want to take a look and make sure, you can go into the HTML and you can look. Here's the first 1/2. It doesn't have any code. It doesn't have any of these greater than, less than signs with words inside of it, which is generally what the code is. You can see that, like, this is code. The code usually will have these greater than, less than signs on it. Here's our shortcode. Again, it's all by itself, which is great. That's what we want. I'm going to scroll down here. And here's the shortcode again, great, all by itself, just what we want. It's at the end of this, and it's before the beginning of our offices, which is the beginning of the next section. So perfect. Go ahead and update, and let's see if it worked out the way we want it to. View page. There we go, beautiful. Here's our section. This is our first half. You can see these are aligned right next to each other, and here's the second section. And then what happens is these will complete before the next section starts out, because these are all together as one half. One half is actually one whole, and so the whole has to complete before the next anything after that whole begins on the page. And so there you go. And you can do the same thing with 1/3 and 2/3 and whatnot. But that's just the one tip I wanted to point out, which will hopefully make it easier when you're entering in shortcode. You can enter the shortcode in the HTML view or the visual mode in your editor view in this visual or the HTML mode. But if you're more comfortable with the visual, that's you want to pay attention to and making sure that it gets entered in the right way. All right. If you have any other questions, look in the notes underneath the video, and there's links to other tutorials. Thanks, and come again.